of snowfall. There, by the time the story's over, some of you may get around a foot of that precipitation, but I'll tell you, out at the beach, it has been sleet, it's been wind, it has been a cacophony of winter madness. And that's where we go to Jim Cantore at Virginia Beach. Jim, braving all the elements this morning. My heart goes out to you, big guy.
Yeah, I'm not alone out here. There's been some folks coming out to the beach. We just had a German Shepherd named Heidi. She was running around like it was Christmas Day. I mean, and for her, it is. It's her first snowstorm. Her parents said they've kind of gone off now. I was kind of hoping they'd still be around. But you can see the tail of the tape right behind me here. Okay, you can see how the snow is blowing back across these little sand mounds. They've got these mounds on the beach here where they've set up kind of Christmas ornaments, if you will, for Christmas. And you think when you go to Virginia Beach, you don't usually see much snow. And I've been here for tropical systems, but never a blizzard. And it's going on right now. At G9 weather tells me we now have Cape Henry, the buoy out there, gusting to 40 miles per hour. We now have heavy snow reported at Newport News. Now, the aircraft down here also dealing with issues. Reynolds talked about Charlotte and Raleigh, how things are kind of being held down. We're also not seeing aircraft coming into this area potentially till 11, 12 o'clock this morning. They may be eventually sending aircraft out as well. There are two airports here, Norfolk and also Newport News, but obviously things are slowing here. We've had gusts to 40, even now inland to Newport News. So we are verifying blizzard here, especially with heavy snow and the kind of wind that we're having in the Tidewater. How about that? It's been 2,200 days since we had a blizzard warning in through here, and now we've got one, and it is actually verifying. So kind of a wild, rare time to be out here on the beach, that's for sure. All right, let's go back to the studios in the Weather Channel. Kelly Cass, Dr. Greg Postel. Guys, I wanted to ask you, because I haven't had a chance to look at the radar, are you seeing any kind of banding features, especially now with some of these new heavy snow reports? Are we going to see some of these rotate into the beach and other areas that, you know, potentially could cripple travel? It's already bad enough, but it could actually just grind things to a halt.
Yeah, Jim, overall across parts of central and eastern Virginia, we're seeing reports of moderate to heavy snow, bringing down visibility underneath the quarter of a mile at sometimes Wakefield. Virginia just reported in the last hour about a quarter of a mile visibility and heavy snow accumulating at least an inch per hour. That's in this part of the state. So there's very heavy snow in place, and that is going to continue to plague parts of southeast Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland for the next several hours to come.
And that's where we have had sleet, obviously, earlier this morning, but we have switched over to snow in a lot of locations, and that really determines how much is able to pile up, right, when you've got different kind of precip types.
Yeah, we do. And the good news is, I think, we are going to gradually get rid of the sleet and freezing rain issue over the next several hours, and the storm is overall going to become colder, and we'll see more snow than anything else, especially as the storm begins to wind up and move along a trajectory like that. More cold air comes in from the northwest, and we're going to see a lot more snow get all the way to the coast, even in the Carolinas, and then move up toward New England.
But the timing wasn't good for a city like Atlanta, where we had more freezing rain. We're seeing reports of the connector shut down. Obviously, the icy concerns there. But where you got the darker blue showing up on the radar, Greg, those are your heavy snow bands.
Yeah, there's some heavy pockets of snow. They're not lasting very long. You get a burst of snow, and then it gets lighter and then heavier. So it's not a consistent, heavy, long duration, heavy snow event. But it is enough to accumulate in some places in central North Carolina 8.5 inches of snow. And we've seen some of those reports. Greensboro 7.5, but there's some other places nearby got over 8 inches of snow. But just to the southeast of there, Kelly, very little, if any, snow accumulation, mostly an ice event for the eastern half of North Carolina.
So that's a sharp cutoff
right
there. I mean, Charlotte to Raleigh, you were right on that freezing line for a good chunk of the morning hours. But north of there, Greg, that is where we're seeing all the pictures on social media of the heavy, heavy snow.
There's the dividing line, basically.
Right
you
there.
can see it on the storm reports. North of that line was essentially snow. South was basically an ice or sleet event. And the reason why is because a little pocket of warm air aloft came in to about here, brought it above 32 degrees, like 34 or 35 at about 10,000 feet, and made that a non-snow event, even though some of the forecasts right up to the point we're thinking there's going to be a lot of snow in eastern North Carolina.
But whether it's snow, sleet, freezing rain, impacts are being felt along the roadways, power outages being reported as well, and then we get that snow cranking up the East Coast, Greg, along with the wind.
Right. Notice how that's right. The wind is going to pick up, the storm is going to strengthen, and the north winds behind it are going to ensure that all that ice and then sleet goes away and becomes an all-snow event all the way up the coast. And that is going to lead to some significant accumulations. This is going to be a big powerhouse storm in the North Atlantic with a lot of strong winds.
And what's amazing is we're going to see all that snow piling up on the beaches as opposed to some of the interior areas where you may not get as much in this situation.
That's right. And behind this, another big story is how cold it's going to be. So any snow or ice that accumulated across that zone is going to be with us for several days yet to come. Monday highs that are still going to be cold, and the lows on your Monday morning are going to be probably in the single numbers in many places in the Carolinas. So travel even on Monday morning will be difficult with the storm long gone by then.
Right. And Reynolds, as you know, by Wednesday, I think we're up